sunk an enemy destroyer.
All right, hello there. Hey, this is Ripper here. Hope you guys are doing fantastic today. Today's video will be about, a lot of people always ask me, what mod are you using for Aslain or a mod? If you guys don't know what that is, a mod, and I definitely recommend this because it took me a while to learn what this is, but a mod pack or mod is basically a modification to the game to allow you to have a little bit more of an advantage or enjoyable experience in World of Warships or any kind of game for that matter. And the thing I like about this is someone like Aslain, and I have to comment, if you ever haven't, check out Aslain's website, whatever, subscribe, donate, whatever you can to help him out. He's doing a really good job. I don't know who Aslain is. It could be a he or it could be a she, but whoever you are, thank you so much for doing the amount of work you have been doing to update World of Warships to make this an enjoyable experience for a lot of people out there. So what are we going to do? So a lot of people have asked me, how do I set mine up to be a good destroyer player, honestly? And it's pretty awesome because being a good destroyer player requires a lot of, I would say, instruments or techniques or procedures or really just a little bit modifications to allow yourself to maximize the best situational awareness that you can. And again, this game really is about situational awareness, knowing where to place your ship, knowing who is around you, where to go, where to send people, where to respond to, I would say, threats, and have a quick reaction force and a quick reaction. And it's not really quick. I mean, this is a ship game. It's slow and methodical, right? So, I mean, it's a ship sailing across water. It's not like a jet flying through the air. However, you are still required as a game to react to the environment that's best placed in front of you. So I'll show you how I've set mine up and the reason why I do that, and it's given me the best experience so far at this time. The first one is team panels, and if you don't know, at the top there's these modifications that you can have on that allow you to see other players on the ship. I think you can even see their names, their clan, whether they're in. The best thing I saw was also like it shows it used to shows you what the ship's concealments, and this is good because if you don't know. You're not going to know if you're a new player, especially a new player. Even veteran players don't know every single thing about the 1,000 ships that are in the game now. You don't know what they have. Do they have radar? Do they have hydro? And I think this is what situational awareness is all about, knowing what you're going up against in order to employ your ship in the best effective manner. And that requires you to know what are you going up against. You know, like they say, Sun Tzu, know thy enemy. Well, you got to know what you're going up against rather than going in blind. So that's why I recommend having this modification, the team panel, as you can literally see what ships are coming up. Because what did I say at the beginning of the game? Hit tab. Figure out what you're going up against. Is there a carrier? Is there a sub? Is there a radar? How many radar ships are out there? As a destroyer player, you need to know all these threats in order to employ your ship in the best effective manner. So again, knowing the destroyer's concealment. If I go up against like a Laterable here, and he's got a concealment at 8.2 and my concealment 6, hey, look, I have an advantage. So knowing that it allows you to play a different kind of aggression or a little bit more of conservativeness, okay? So that's exactly why I do that. And again, you can play however you want. You can have different types of settings. I just need it for this basic situational awareness of what am I going up against. The next one is Team Mini Panel. This one is very good because you need this because a lot of players have asked me, well, what mini panels do you like to have up there on the team panels and stuff? And I like to have the team panel that shows all the ships in color-coded as well as seeing their health points because why? Two reasons. One, I can differentiate easily what am I going up against? How many destroyers are there? That's the first thing I look for. How many destroyers are we going up against? You know, I'm a destroyer main, so I got to know how many I got to kill. The next one is, which are the radar cruisers? See, the cruisers are also different color, different shapes. You now know. Then you can even hone down as to which one is the radar cruiser threat, so that way I need to know who to avoid. The battleships, obviously, are battleships. They're big red or big symbols. And, of course, do I need to know if there's a carrier on board as well? So that's another good one. Now, here's a team hit point plus. Why do I need to know this? Because one of the perks, as you saw in my previous videos, the Yo Yang, I need to know, I need to get Combat Scout. In order to get Combat Scout to give my guns the best reload, I need to know how many total health points are in both sides of the team. So that, I mean, I don't see too much advantage of this other than to activate a Combat Scout, but knowing how much a team starts with health-wise, it doesn't really give me anything that I need to really employ with, right? It's cool to know. It's like, oh, that team has a little bit more health advantage than us. Okay, what does that do? I mean, every ship sinks, so just keep shooting at it, right? But that's pretty good to know. I think some people use it to gauge as to how our team's doing. Like if we're down to like 400K and they still got 800, okay, their game's pretty much over probably because the other team just seems to be superior at shooting and killing ships, right? But again, I just used it and activated it to see how much HP I need to kill, because I think the commander Zing Bing activates his gun reload if he gets Combat Scout. And Combat Scout, you gotta have to do a little math here. You gotta get 20% total spotting of the total HP. So 20% of this total I gotta get in order to activate that one thing, and also get 5% damage of the total hit points. I mean, it's just so much math. I don't even want to deal with it. Okay. Anyways, the other one, ship icons. This is up to you guys if you want to have it. I don't really use it. Clan icons, I don't care. I play a lot of randoms anyways, so I don't need that. Now, what ship movement indicator? Why is this important? Okay, so I use the Aslain one, which is the ship movement indicator. Allows yourself to see which ship is moving forward or back. Okay, so what happens here is you have a red means they're in reverse, green means going forward. Why is that important? It is important so I know that where to shoot my shells at, because if he's going backwards, if I fire forward of the ship, they're going to miss. So I need to aim, starting aiming towards the rear of the section of the ship, the stern, so I know that he's going to back up into my shells. The green also means that if he's moving forward, aim forward of the ship, and you kind of understand the concept there is you're shooting the shells where the ship is going to be at based on his throttle settings, okay? Also, the stop means that he's the guy stop, because I've had so many times guys have asked me, is the guy moving forward? Is he moving back? Is he going? Is he going in reverse? Is he going forward? They ask me all the time. Just pick the Aslain one that tells you, so you don't have to ask, because there's not enough time to respond to the game for some dang reason. So a lot of campers always at the stop position. So I know, hey, just put the thing on the thing and just fire, and I'm going to hit it. The other cool thing is there's these circle rings around the ship that also tell you the throttle setting that he's at. So for example, if it's you got a quarter forward, that means he's at quarter speed. If it's the green circle the green line fills up halfway through the circle, then that means he's at half speed, okay? That means he's got half the throttle setting. Now, obviously, if he is going all the way around full 4 green circles, that means he's going full speed. There's only 4 throttle quadrants you can set this thing at: quarter speed, half speed, 3/4, 4, right? So if all 4 of these are filled, then obviously he's going full throttle in reverse. If it's the green circle up here and it's full green, that means he's going full throttle in forward. Does that make sense to you guys? All right. That's why I use that. It's a very good one. Speed indicator. Oh, yeah, that's the one I was talking about. There it is. Those are the rings. So I'm sorry. So the movement indicator is the red and green flares. And then, of course, the speed indicator is that throttle quadrant setting. If you read it down here, it gives you a rough indication, enemy speeds. It showed mid-green light, mid-beam forward. Okay, I like to see this more, because it gives you that ability to see the full circle, throttle forward, throttle back. So I kind of use both of these in conjunction together, okay? So forgive me there, I kind of misspoke. But yeah, if you have these two on, you will not only see a green or red circle, you will also see the throttle quadrant indicator as to whether he's going throttle forward, throttle back, okay? Consumable monitor, very, very important here. Why? You get to, allows you to monitor all the activity consumables of your allies by holding the Option or Alt tab. Yeah, Alt key. I'm using a Mac, so I press Option. If you press Alt key on your Windows computer or Option on the Mac, what will happen is up above the ship, it will show you what consumables are active. And why is this so important? Because if you have a radar cruiser, instead of asking, hey, how much time is left on your consumable, or when are you going to have radar coming up, you don't need to ask anymore. Hit the Alt tab or Alt or the Option key. You pull up all those consumables, and look, it even tells you what the cooldown time is real time. You'll see this ticking down and tells you how much time is left. Why is that so important as a short player? You need to know if your team's radar, and it even pops up on your Minimap. Later on I'll show you the Minimap. It'll show you the range of those radars later. But the consumable monitor tells you how long on cooldown is this Stalingrad's radar, or this Moskva's radar, or the Smolensk radar, or whatever. It tells you the time that it needs to recharge, so then we don't have to ask the question, hey man, how long do you have until radar? And that way you don't have to ask anymore. Now you can gauge your ship's ability and get your guns ready to shoot when that radar goes down. And then you can even just go, hey, dude, I know your radar's ready. Pop it. Don't have to ask. Say, pop radar, pop radar. You just got to say that, okay? So very, very important consumable monitor. That's really all I use it for, is to know when their hydro and radars are on cooldown. The regen monitor, this is just to see the healable points on your allies. That's cool. I mean, that's just, I like to have that. Spotted indicator, very, very important. Why? I want to know this exclamation point, which means that I then know if my team is spotted or not. Okay, this lets me know. It's here, gray color, no indicator. Light orange exclamation point. This tells me that, hey, you're spotted. And again, throughout the game, I've noticed that I look at my minimap too. I'll see who is spotted and who's blinking, and you'll see also, that's another minimap mod, but knowing that which of your teams is spotted just lets me know where the enemy is at as well. Because as soon as I know, boom, somebody in front of me spotted, I know there's something in front of me. Okay, that's very, very important because knowing your enemy's situation as well helps you determine the best possible outcome. Smoke marker, I think this is probably one of the most broken things in the game, but it gives you such a great advantage. You get to not only see on the minimap where the smoke is, but you see where the smoke is outlined by a line, but also these little center points right here, the last puffs of smoke. I think what does it say? Every time elapsed, you'll see you can see where that smoke was spotted. And if you hit Option tab, I do believe Alt key, yeah, it's Alt key, you can then see the time left on the smoke or how much time it's been elapsed since it's there. So it's really, really awesome to see how long the smoke lasts, where it's at, and it gives you just so much information as to where the smoke is, especially what's there? The smoke marker on the minimap will not work when installed the minimap mods. Yeah, you want to see smoke on the minimap as well, like here. But this is so awesome because it allows you to see where this, especially as a destroyer player, where this ring is at. So not only do I know where it's at, how long it lasts, but I then know the center points of where those were last spotted to be popped at. And most people, what they do is just shoot at those center spots to hit the guy in the smoke. So this is why it's a great, great mod. See it right here? I don't know if you can see it on my screen, but having this right here, it allows you to see, kind of get a gauge of where to shoot. Especially if this the guy inside the smoke fires, you can kind of gauge where, I just got to shoot at the center point. Because most of the time, the ship that is going to stop and smoke is typically at the last center point of these white dots, as where the last puff of smoke usually is at, because they don't really maneuver as much. That from statistics that I've seen. Advanced depth charge mark, I just have those down. Those are pretty cool. You can see depth charges. I don't care. Numerical remaining battery on submarines. I like to know that so I know when the submarine is underwater, how long it's been, so I can shoot and wait it out. Minimap, this is what I use. Everybody asks me, what minimap do you use? Oh, all right, this is the important one. I use battle frame. Why? It is so freaking important because it gives you situational awareness, and later on in the game, you can see how I set it up. I'll show a video about that in a minute, about minimap gameplay, but and I'll break off into it in a minute. Once I get back in the game, I'll show you how to use the minimap. But the minimap, the battle frame, I like a lot because it gives me a lot of information that I really do use a lot of, especially the radar. People keep asking me, what mod are you using to get the radar to appear on the minimap, this green circle here of friendly but also bad guy radar, because it gives me then the capability to know how am I going to best use the radars to my ability, especially as a destroyer player. And I also need to know where the radar threat is to avoid it, right? Minimap battle frame from the Minimap mod section. And again, you hold down Alt key, you can see all the radars and even the hydro. I even get to see which hydro is available to me as well. So I hold the Alt key down, and you could see the range of my friendly radar. So do they cover the cap? I don't have to ask that anymore. Hey, do you cover the cap? Do you cover the cap? Or also, where's the enemy radar? Hey, where's that enemy radar with the Stalingrad right there? Oh, I got to avoid him. So I'm going to just drive my ship staring at the minimap. I'm literally staring at the minimap. And I drive my ship outside those rings and avoid it. And I'm in a safe spot. I don't have to think about it. I teach my young lieutenants and everything about this. We use a similar tool. I can't talk about it, it's classified, but we use a similar tool that allows us to see similar kind of minimap kind of gameplay style, where I tell my guys, dude, where are the threats at? How do we position your airplane? Whatever you got to do to move these things around, your radar, whatever. Because why? Situational awareness is so key and crucial because you can't do math in your head faster than you can just look, okay? I always say light travels faster than thought. If you just can look at the minimap and go, oh, I'm in a safe spot, boom, I'm good. I tell my lieutenants all the time like that, dude, look, if you can stare at a screen like that and just make calculations on the fly that fast, you can't go and engage, well, what is my range-bearing azimuth, and I have to think about all these things, do calculations, oh, a third of the wind component. I can't do all that math, but dude, if I can just look at the minimap and go, oh, look, I'm outside the radar threat. How fast was that? Okay, especially if you're not good at math. I don't need to think about calculations. Was this a 12.5 radar or was it a 10-kilometer? No, just hit the Alt-T, boom. I know the radar range. Stay out of it. Boom. Light travels faster than thought. All right, submarine pingers on the map. So I like to see this because it's very, very important. In the age of the death of cancer of the submarine, you need to know where the pings are, okay? So as soon as the submarine pings and uses a sonar, boom, I see these dots on the, not only on my heads-up display, but also on the minimap. I then can also, my right-click, my mouse button on these and say, hey, everybody, depth charge this area. Hey, everybody, depth charge this area. It also gives me situational awareness as to know where that ping last originated from, so therefore I can turn away or drive at it. And especially as a destroyer, I have to either, one, depth charge the guy, or two, run away. I can't do both. So I'm going to literally drive onto this dot if I'm close enough and I can catch him. If he's actually driving towards me, that's a good thing. Or also you can see up here, you can see the direction indicator. So if I see pings going here, I can see where he's heading and I can just drive in that area or run away from the threat. Very, very important and crucial to know about submarine pings on the map. All right, so here's the mini-map setup right here I got. So what I do is I hold down Control and I select. You'll see these two indicators over here is how I would set up kind of the map. So the first, I guess you could say, settings indicator. You can pull up this extra map. There's extra, I would say, setting tab. Radio location indicator. So you can see how that indicator pops up. You can see now on the map where the indication is virtually on the mini-map as well. So that is a very, very important must. It will always swing to where the closest target is on your mini-map, and that's very good. I drive majority of the time on the mini-map. Show the direction of the submarine sonar pings. So you can actually see the direction on the minimap as well, where that's coming from. Allied ship spotting indicator, so it tells you where they're spotting torpedoes on the minimap. I love that. If you can see, I don't know if sometime lately the updates have taken it away, but maybe Wargaming thinks it's too overbroken powered. But to see the torpedoes on the minimap is great situational awareness to know where they're coming at and where they're going. Show teammates radar pings as well. So radar range. So if you can see your teammates' radar, like I talked about, like as you can see the radar coverage of those three cruisers right there, you can see where it covers, but you can also see your teammates' radar coverage as well. So you don't have to ask every time, hey, are you covering Charlie Cap? Or are you covering Alpha Cap? How far does yours reach out? You can just hit the alt the key or the command key, whatever, and you can see it immediately on the minimap, and you know, are they within range? Radar range of enemy when approaching. Show the radar ranges when you are approaching them at 1.5. So you got to be within 1.5 of that radar ring, and you got to be looking at them. So that helps. I'll show that in a minute. Show the radar threat on the minimap, so you can also see the radar threat as you can see right there. Show radar ranges for ships with potential radar. So you also need to know, does this Minotaur have radar or does this Yang have radar? So that way it kind of just gives you the worst case scenario. If they have the radar range, it just shows it right off the bat. And it even pops up right here. See, it says radar threat, bad thing, Des Moines, 10 kilometers. It even tells you what the kilometers, so you don't have to think about it. Like, again, there's so many ships in the game that you don't have time to remember or even have the brain capacity to know what is the range of that Des Moines or what is the range of that Tulsa or what's the range of that whatever. Boom, it's just right there, and boom, you can have it right there, and you can tells you with how many you're within range of that thing. So it then tells you how much do you have to drive away. So a very, very good situational awareness. Show the range of radar on allied ships able if active. So this is a very good thing. So when your friendlies, again, you have to know what your friendlies are doing to help you out as well. And show the range of hydro on friendly ships. And this is a very, very good one because then I know, hey, is your Z52 or Z42 or your hydro covering that area? Very good as well. And then the other one, as you can see, I always have these set up as well. I want to know numerical values, ship names, call attention to an object, call attention to an area on the square, and show waypoints in the 3D world. So, for example, why are these important? Watch this. So if I click on right here, you see how that spot pops up right there? I can see that. You can see it. Now, if you have it active, of course, you can see it. But when friendlies ping an area, like, for example, if I ping this area right here, I need attention looking in this direction. I don't have to look at the minimap. I look right up here, and I know, boom, that's where the guy is getting focus on right there. As well as if I ping that Des Moines, watch this. Boom. It's popping, telling me, hey, attention, shoot at this guy, shoot at this guy. It's blinking right there. Very, very good situational awareness tools. So look, as you can see, you got the indicator I was telling you about throttle settings up, back, and forward. If this is gray, it's stop, red, reverse, green, forward, and then, of course, I know his throttle settings. And as you can see, I'm inside their radar threat, okay? Very, very bad. So I got the closest guy right here is the Des Moines radar. It will be the one that you look at or that's closest to you. That's a threat. That'll pop up here. But then again, I see the entire overlay, and I know where to drive. I got to get outside these circles to be out of range, right? And where is the Z52? So I can see Z52's hydro range. Let's see here. I'll drive to the Z52. Now, this is very, very good situational awareness as well. So let's see here. Again, see all the information you're getting out of all this. So you got ping indicators. You can see where I'm asking, hey, focus attention on. And let's see if I can get the hydro range here popping up on the Z52. I don't think it shows his hydro ability. I thought it did. It might just be just for friendlies. It does, I don't think they have a mod yet for the bad guys. But you kind of know, you kind of get the gist of the idea of how this works. And right here, look, I'm pinging. You can see all the indications right there. Pretty awesome. You can see where I'm pointing at, all the ping indications. Those are very good situational awareness tools. Again, it's all about situational awareness and where you need to go. You can see the wolf indicator, very, very good in situational awareness there. See, it's always updating every few seconds. And then these 3D range lines allow me to see a little bit, get a better gauge as to where do I need to fire these torpedoes at if he starts to move forward, okay? So again, I hope that helps for the minimap overview. Another one I use is the improved chat on the battle chat. This allows me to see who is talking, okay? Now, you're a big chat guy or chat person. I don't care. I like to keep chat a little bit because I need to know who's talking, who's asking questions, because that is a form of communication when it is helpful and kind. If you are out there being a toxic player, I'm just going to go ahead and blacklist you. I don't want to hear your chat. I'll just go ahead and end it right there. I encourage you guys to do the same. If you see something toxic, tell them to please stop doing that and just blacklist them and move on. Don't need to argue with an idiot. You just create another idiot by arguing with them, okay? Anyways, I can see which one's pinging, which one's talking, and it gives me a lot of situational awareness as to where that person is saying and talking and doing. It even blinks at me and tells me who's responding too. I like that because then I know because in the old way, it just tells me somebody's talking in his name. I don't know who that name is or who he's playing. But when I see GK is saying, shoot at this guy, oh, I know exactly within those just few seconds of reading that, I know what he's asking and I know who it came from, okay? Very, very good right there. And I think I really enjoy it. Let's see here. Some other ones that I think are very important. If you're a secondary guy, secondary armament status is very good to see how much is left of your thing. The build viewer, I've seen a lot of guys use this, Flambats. A lot of guys are using this thing to see what builds. I mean, I don't really use it too much, but if you like to be curious about how people build their ships and stuff, you can have this armed. It's on the top left or bottom left of the screen. You click on the arrow, and then it shows the build of the player that you're staring at as well. So pretty awesome there. 3D radar, I love this. I'd like to see where on the 3D world that radar reaches out to. So it gives me a ring as to see where is this. I think this only is available in the replay. Let's see here. The enemy radar display when you are a player, and the circles become visible when you're not. So when you're spotting. Yeah, so in battle, you will get to see rings. I think it's kind of just natural to see it now. I just use Minimap now to really help me work it out. 3D radio position finding is very, very crucial because I use the radio finder a lot in this game, as you can tell. And this little 3D view helps me give a better gauge because I can't really tell much from this arc right here, but this gives me a really good visualization as to where that RPF is locating, and then I can fire torpedoes into this alleyway right there. Very, very good. Intuition is also great because then you get to know immediately how many people are spotting you and looking at you. So radio position finder, how many people are actually radio finding you. So it's a good thing. It's kind of like the who's looking at you kind of thing on the captain's thing. I like this better. I don't really use the captain one. I think it's a waste of time nowadays. I use the, as a destroyer player, the fire indication. As soon as I see exclamation point, somebody fired at me, I just changing my vectors, slow down, and that just tells me, hey, that's awesome. That I don't even need to care. I don't care who's looking at me. Everybody's always looking at me. I just need to know when to move when they fire at me and throw off their shots, right? Torpedo reaction. Now, I just keep that up there so you can see the reaction time of the torpedoes. Very good to know. 7 seconds is the average. 4 seconds is like deep water torpedo style. All right, another very good one if you are into a lot of competitive here. Score timer. So the score timer is a crucial must. You need to have this on. I think Potato Quality had this video about if you see the diamond, that means you are winning. And sometimes if you don't have any time indication at all, but just the diamond, you know that you're winning. You can just drive it, run away, and just win the game based on the overall time of the match. Very, very crucial component because if you don't know if you're winning or not, you don't know what decision to make. Like right here in this top one, you're winning. You don't have to do anything. Just keep the points, sit around, you'll win the game based on time. In this situation, you're losing. Or let's say more ships are dead and you have a red diamond over here. That means you're losing. You need to do something. You need to kill somebody or go take some caps and get some points, right? See how the decision-making is different there? If you have these mods, it makes you do different decision-makings rather than I don't know what's happening. I'm just going to run to the corner of the map. It doesn't help you, right? The shot timer, also very good because you need to know how long was the last time you were detected and somebody fired a gun at you. So I use this a lot. 20 seconds is the magical number, right? So 20 seconds as this counts down from 20 down to 0, that tells me that's the last time time it was shot, it was fired at me, and that was detected. So I have to wait until that goes to 0, and then I go undetected. So it gives me at least some kind of situational awareness of how long do I got to keep maneuvering and juking shells so that I'm not spotted anymore. Very good as a destroyer player. You need to know that. Radar timer is also a key component. It doesn't tell you how long the person's radar lasts. It just tells you when was the last time it was detected by radar. So that way you know, well, I can think that roughly around 30 seconds I got to survive this radar or run away from the radar. And that gives me kind of a gauge of, well, how long am I going to be detected for and how long do I have to run away? So, like, for example, I know that Des Moines and, I would say American and typical American and radar cruisers last about 30 seconds-ish. That's roughly. Some the Soviet cruisers last less than that, like 20-ish seconds. So as long as you know kind of the gauge of roughly how long that radar lasts in your mind, you have enough time to know when you can avoid that radar or run away. So that's very good. Reload indicators are nice. I like to see, like, well, what's my reload on the guns? It's just situational awareness, and it gives me a bigger number so I can see, oh, it's reloading this long. Okay, great. And now I know how long the adrenaline rush is kicking in or what are my torpedo reloads are. It gives me a little bit better situational awareness, but they're also up here as well. Wargaming does that just to put it up here, but they're small numbers, sometimes hidden by just the background footage. So I like big numbers. They're nice. Clock in battle, I don't know why. Maybe I should take that off. I don't really need that. Yeah, I don't really need it. I'll take it off because I don't need to know the time of the day that I'm playing. Battle timer, very important. I like to see big numbers, how long is left in the game. Okay, so normally it's a 20-minute round, and then you kind of have to know when, if you have to literally last the full round all the way down to 0 minutes, also a good situational awareness to see. Remember that diamond earlier I told you about? Who's got the wind indicator? That means if this goes down to 0 and you got the diamond, you win the game. So very good situational awareness that way. Oh, very important right here as a destroyer player. Capture time on objective. So this is the number above the objective. How long does it take to capture? Sometimes this green thing filling up takes forever. I don't know how long it lasts. But if I do have seconds up there, now I know where to put my ship so that I'm also in the moment. As soon as it hits 0 and I capture, I'm in an egress mode. I run away. I need to put myself in a good position that way. So it's a very good indicator and a good tool to know where to put your destroyer when you're capping spots, right? Time to travel, very, very important because you need to know how long does it take to get there. So I hit Option or Alt Tab or Alt key, and I hit that and go, okay, it takes me about 2 minutes to get to Bravo or about 30 seconds to get to Delta. I can communicate to my team, or I can also know how long is my ship going to take to get there, and can I get there in enough time to win the game if it really comes down to it. So very, very important to have that on there. Smoke indicator, just another indicator that's bigger to tell me how long is the smoke lasting, each of those puff. Now, I know that a lot of people have complained that there might be a glitch, that there may not be significant time or whatever in the smoke. It may be off or whatever. I don't know. I don't know what's going on with the smoke time or smoke indicators these days, but there are a lot of glitches with it. This just gives me a bigger indicator as opposed to the one on the top right here. There's another one right here by Wargaming. If it's there, I just use it the best of my ability, and it's pretty awesome for me for what it does for just the basic usage. Outside of, and here's the last one. What radio indicator am I using? I'm using the Wolf one, which is a very pointy one, and this point literally pinpoints, kind of if I draw a line up to it, I kind of get a good gauge of where this center point of the radar RPF is indicating. It's a better symbol. I like it. It's a little bit more pronounced. A lot of people have asked me that. Yeah, it's in the custom radio location marker, radio location Wolf. Okay, so that's the one I use. And dirt repellent, yeah, I turn that on. It just repels the dirt, just makes it a little bit more clearer. And outside of that, I don't think... binocular frame maneuver. So if you don't like having binoculars on the screen when you zoom in, I like that. I just take it away, make it a little bit more cleaner. And outside of that, I just use whatever is left on the other one. I really don't use... Oh, yeah, if you don't like using the loot box, you know that thing, the crane that comes out of every time you open up a box? If you don't want to skip all that animation, click on the loot box crane remover. It helps out a lot, and it speeds up the game. And that's pretty much it. I hope you find enjoyable information out of this video. And if this helps you out, let me know, okay? Let me know in the comments and tell me your builds. Tell me other people in the comments. Comments is a great place to be social and talk and share ideas. And I hope that helps as well. And until next time, I'll talk to you guys soon. Hope you enjoy. Cheers.